Release day, release day. On this special Friday the 13th crowded release day, we've got the best of the best. Kid Barrett in the house.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me again. Happy to be back.
I just said to you, that I hope I took a hit with my costume to make you look like even cooler than you already are, which you already are the ultimate in coolness. But now this really elevates you.
Thank you, man. Look at you. Look at you. You got up and you put on your best shirt today. Got your nice
Yeah,
pens there.
yeah, just in case.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. How's your day going?
Um, my day. Well, my day's gone. It's 9 o'clock at night here.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're at
But
night.
it's not a day that I will. It's not a day that I will cherish. You know,
Oh yeah.
throughout time. It's yeah, yeah, a little bit difficult here and there these days. But
Yeah.
what can you do? What can you do?
hmm
What can you do?
Definitely, man. Definitely. You could definitely feel tension all around, and it's definitely going to affect
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's not. It does. I think it affects me more than ever. I
Of
think like
course.
whatever kind of journey I've been on is like one where I become more and more sensitive to the world. And
Exactly.
it's just like an all sides lose, thing. And it's just horrible. It's just
Of
horrible.
course. And of course.
Horrible. But
Yes,
um,
sir.
but I made the decision to keep doing this show, and of course we keep doing music, and people need to escape a little bit and hear some good
Mhm.
old fashioned rock and roll, and
Definitely, man.
and some weird synth, arpeggios and whatnot.
Of course. I mean, I feel like music has always been there for people throughout the hard times, which is great. There's always, and
Yeah.
then things come from that. Definitely, there's going to be within the art scene, there's definitely going to be a reflection of the times, I believe.
What was your biggest like when you had a hard time growing up, what was your biggest album that you turned to like in your darkest hour?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, so I think like some of the hardest moments, I was probably like a teenager entering teenage years,
Yeah.
um, leaving childhood. Like I had to grow up kind of fast. So by the time I was 13, I was already in my feels, I was already like, I want
Mhm.
to play it. I want to do something. I think I picked up the skateboard first
Yeah.
and ended up breaking this, but I digress. I fell really into at that time like alternative music. I had already
Okay.
been listening to classic rock and like, fun radio pop stuff
Mm.
to, at the time there was great stuff in LA, but I fell right into the like post-hardcore scene, kind of like screamo. You know what James is into, but I kind of was more in like my feels, you know what I mean? So I
Oh
was a
yeah.
little into the screamo stuff. So an album that really helped me out a lot was Seosin's self-titled, and I still listen to that album today, man. And I just every lyric, I'm at the edge of my seat with every lyric, and it's
Mm.
just some people would even consider that to be like emo. I think their first stuff was very emo, but then when
Okay.
they got their new singer Cove, which some people did like, some people didn't like.
Yeah.
Uh, but I liked it because to me I was introduced to that as a kid on TV, and I was like, oh wow, I love this. It spoke to me. There's this
Yeah.
song, Voices,
Mm.
uh, and it's basically the I'll just tell you what the lyrics are. It's like we
Yeah.
sp- we speak in different voices when fighting with the ones we love. And
Mm.
to me, I was like, wow, like it's just like, you know what I mean? It jumped at me. And I think that album still, to be honest, I want to get a tattoo of, it's, it's a Beatle. I don't know if you've ever seen that album. It's just a big,
I
I'll
don't
still
know. I don't know the band at all. I feel very unhip right now.
no, no
But
worries, dude.
you're gonna have
You
to
were
send me a link though because I really want to
definitely,
check
I
it out.
will. Yeah.
If
But,
if it means that much to you, then for sure it's
you should, yeah, definitely check that.
oh
I'll show it to
shit,
you.
dude. I can't believe this. I need to go get a charger for the computer. I fucked up. I've never done this. So we'll make a cut here.
Yep.
Cut.
Right on.
Cut.
Well, what
I've
just happened?
never, I've never made a mistake by that. You know, at
That's okay.
one time I had to let my cat out of the room when I was interviewing Darkways
Okay.
official, you know,
Oh, I love
and
them.
what was I gonna say?
So yeah, so
Oh
that's
yeah,
my
but that's a
album.
little bit. I'm a little bit off. Yeah, I'm a
Well,
little bit off.
what's an album that got you through a hard time?
Well, I have to say, you know, mine was a little bit later, when I was in New York, and I was really, you know, gunning for this major record deal. You know, I had my
Mhm.
band had an independent record deal, and we were really gunning for success. You know, like big time. Like I was really, 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 really all about it in my life, and it was just about when I realized it wasn't going to happen. And I was so psycho at the time. I was like not listening to other music because I was like one of these people that was like, I don't want it to influence me. You know, I got this thing going on and I really
Wow,
want
that's
to
interesting.
keep focusing on this. Yeah. So I was totally cuckoo like that. And people kept saying, you know, people kept talking about Radiohead. And I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
no, no, no. La, 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 la. La.
I love it.
I don't want to hear about Radiohead.
Big
Uh,
Radiohead fan.
and
Big Radiohead fan.
finally, finally, I
What was
gave
your first introduction?
OK Computer,
Oh,
and I just dove into OK Computer, and I stopped doing my own music altogether,
mhm.
and I just floated in OK Computer, and you
Wow,
know, and some drugs, you know,
for sure.
and that was it. That was it. And but I was so brokenhearted, you know, about my lack of success, as I was
I
defining
see.
it at that time.
I see.
And then I was just like, and there's no point in ever making music ever again because Radiohead. OK
Well,
Computer.
I'll tell
I was
you
like,
what,
there's no point in me ever writing another song.
Radiohead is the perfect music for that. To just
Yeah,
kind of like, let me just let go for a while and
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
dive into some Radiohead. Yeah, for me, I mean, Thom Yorke, definitely a big influence on my falsetto style.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
The,
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
love,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love, that's something that, and Johnny Greenwood is for sure one of the reasons that I got a Telecaster, of course.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, definitely. I
yeah.
can
He's
relate.
amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a
Radiohead,
total
damn.
thing for me. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, Haunted Maze,
Yes, sir.
the
Coming out
big
tonight.
Friday the 13th. Well, it'll be out when this comes out. It'll be out.
Exactly. So it's out. It's
Yeah,
out now. Go listen
it's
to
out.
it. Hey, go listen to it. Yeah.
Well, tell us about Haunted Maze. Well, how it came about. What were you thinking? And
Right.
walk us through the journey.
Well, okay, so I was just wanted to get into the holiday spirit, you know.
Yeah,
I think I've probably haven't done that before besides like I've been caught in the middle of working on something, but this time I was like, let me really work on something Halloween, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love Misfits and Dead Kennedys and stuff like that. So I love how they involve the horror themes within their music, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's just a year-round thing, you know. So I'm like, let me make this song where maybe every year we can play it, you know.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah.
get some play out of it. But I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just right after I dropped Life Stands, because I was here for Life Stands.
Yeah,
And thanks to everyone who's returning from the last time and
yeah.
who listened to and who's here again, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um I
Oh,
was
by the
like,
way, you're the first
next.
return guest.
Thank you,
You're the
man.
first return guest to the
I
show. So this
appreciate
is
that.
if you can believe that, you're the 25th guest. This is the
Oh
25th
wow.
episode. Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah,
So here's the original story, okay?
yeah,
You see this record?
yeah.
It's a Disney
Oh,
haunted.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you throw it on while like people are trick or treating and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I was like sitting here with my guitar, just strumming a couple chords, and I was kind of droning, doing this very drony vibe,
Yeah.
drony, and I kept staring at this haunted house record, and I was like, I didn't want to write a haunted house song. I know there's a lot of haunted house songs, and I'm like,
Uh,
the haunted house is it's so easy to grab,
mhm.
it's just there already for you.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was like, let me, and then I was like, a haunted maze. Like, what about? Because here's another little tidbit. I've worked at Warner Brothers for a season for the Halloween time when they haven't done
Oh,
it
okay.
anymore, but they used to do this event called Horror Made Here, and it was pretty awesome because it was actually like film grade mazes. Like you
Oh,
got like
cool. Yeah.
real costumes, and you're
Yeah,
on
yeah,
actual lots where they
yeah.
film things. So
Nice. Yeah.
I was part of the It maze when and I got the It posters back here somewhere.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
I was part of the It maze and I was Pennywise for a little bit,
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really freaking cool. Um, so I have experience with the mazes, like being
Yeah.
behind the scenes in the maze and then being, just giving it in the I know what people are supposed to feel and like what you're supposed to make them do, and just you're supposed to be having them follow this path of
Yeah.
terror. So that's kind of what I wanted the song to be about.
Yeah.
And I've also remembered, so I started writing it. The first verse talks about a hall of mirrors, and
Mm.
growing up, going to a lot of carnivals, and those used to freak me out, because I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
slam my face a couple times trying to get out of those. So I remember I threw a hall of mirrors in there. I second verse is really fun because I was like, let me bring back the like classic horror monsters. And if you've been seeing the pictures I've been posting, those
Yeah.
I did those on during 2020 when we couldn't go out, and trick or treat or do anything or hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
We just kind of like put together everything, boom. My girl and I, because she did like Bride of Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, for me, I did Frank, I did Dracula, I did Werewolf, and I did like a classic mummy.
Yeah.
So that's I wanted to throw those guys in there somehow, in my
Yeah.
song. Uh so yeah, that's kind of the background. Like I've worked at mazes. I wanted to write a spooky song, and here we go. Let me do a song about a maze. So while writing it though, at first I was getting this very like Sonic Youth kind of dun 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 dun. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I do love me some Sonic Youth, just
Yeah.
some like something a little crazy. Maybe like even when you hear one of the strings is a little untuned, it's a
Yeah.
little, or because they used to use different tunings and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
too. So, um, yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, what would be a good change for this? And the minute I hit that G, it just kind of like turned into a fucking like just like a classic blues, like like a what would you even call it?
Yeah.
Like a classic rock and roll song,
Well,
basically.
yeah. I mean, it really has a live sound to it, and it's yeah. It reminds me, and well, I guess it's the piano through there
That
reminds me of
piano.
like
I
Jerry Lee Lewis.
I do like that. I like when
Yeah.
I've always loved that because being a I mean, I know some my way around the piano a little bit. Whenever I hear that in a song, like in a Stooges song,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, like they're not changing, but it's adding another flavor that's
Yeah.
remaining there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the only time that piano changes is during I think during the chorus. During
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
chorus is where it actually changes, I think, or something like that. But I tried to give it as much of that, like what you said, that like hit.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got a cat walking around the graveyard over here.
I
Woo!
know. I see that. Wow.
She's gone. She's gone. But yeah, man, it's a fun song. Like I wanted it to be a fun song. Um, being led through the maze. Um, obviously it's spooky. I threw a solo in there because I haven't done. I was like, let me bring some guitar back in here, and that's obviously because I like to write either on the guitar or I start on the synth, or I'll just be messing around with like some drums or something.
Yeah.
Those are the main things I write with. But when I'm bored, I'll pick up the guitar just to refresh. And this is what comes sometimes. I'm just like, oh wait, and I have to just chase it. And to
Mm.
be honest, let me be completely honest with you. This is one of the like fastest songs that have been from like mind to master.
Oh,
Like I think I
really? Okay.
recorded it. Oh yeah, I recorded it, and then the next day I had it in the on like being mixed and mastered already. So I was like,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, it felt really cool, like
Yeah.
because I knew exactly what I wanted with it. I also just pictured like what you said, that live feel is because I
Mm.
did just one vocal track all the way through.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
yeah, just all the way
Yeah.
through.
Well, it's got a great energy. Yeah.
Thank you,
And I
man.
love it that you're throwing some yeah, blah, 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 and you're like talking to it.
Yeah, man.
And that also
You
makes
know,
it gives it a real live feel. Like
a little bit of
it's
Jim
a
Morrison. That's
little bit of the
a
throwback stuff. Yeah.
You could thank Jim for that, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
woo, yeah, come on. And I actually, what's funny? We were mixing it, and I forgot to send James one of the stems or one of the parts, one of the tracks, rather.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. And I was listening to what we were doing, and then I'm like, oh, dude, this is supposed to make it feel more live. There's this part that while I'm doing the solo, I just kind of did that, what you said, kind of very
Yeah. Yeah.
Jim inspired, like, woo, rah, rah, rah. Like, when he's like, come on, Robbie.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hear him in the back. It's like, it sounds like a live take. I
Yeah.
just, I wanted to bring it back to like my roots, rock and roll. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
love. I love fast, upbeat rock and roll, a little solo in there. Nothing
Yeah.
too fancy, just something memorable,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna
Exactly. Exactly.
stick,
Yeah. Wow.
like
Those are the best
stick in your
solos. Yeah.
ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, but
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and it's very catchy too. But I thought you were talking about when you said it was when you started talking about that it was the fastest song. I thought you meant the speed of the song because it's also a fast song.
So it is a fast song. Yeah, it's just do, do, da, da, da. And I even had to like I said, there's a lot of influences that we've already brought up, like Sonic Youth, the Stooges, the Doors, and just punk rock, and that's why it just has to blend in a way where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
rock and roll, but a little bit sped up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I like the speed of it. But yeah, the way it was created kind of freaked me out because I was like, really, I wanted it so bad that I just like pulled it down. The minute James got to it, he knew exactly because I was talking to him before as I was making it. And I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, I'm about to send you something tonight. And it's so funny because I almost didn't track that day. It's weird. Those days when you're like, I'm gonna get ready to, I don't know if I can record today or if it feels right.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much time left. I was just like, I had to do something else. And I was like, okay, you know what? Boom. And then I just yelled that, not yelled, but sang that part. And I was like out of breath at the end, but I was like, I think that's it. I think that was it right there because I felt like I just performed. And
Yeah.
that's like I said before, I try to do that in my recordings with enough proximity, obviously, from the mic now, but I try to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
because that's the only thing that changes, when you're at a live show, you have the comfort of being like gripping the mic and like
Yeah.
cupping it, which is a sin now that I'm seeing is cupping a mic live, which no one ever teaches us. We just see it, everyone doing it, and we think everyone's cool for doing it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, I've learned the tricks. Okay, move back and if you're gonna sing a louder note, maybe pull back a little bit, give yourself a little more proximity. That
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
through in the recordings. So with James and I, our rule is like a foot at least. And then I even pull a little bit, just like a little foot and a half, maybe when I'm like really projecting. Because I
Well,
I know my
we
voice.
should say too though, James is James K Ultra of Pain in the Yaz, mixer extraordinaire,
James K
artist.
Ultra
Yeah.
artist. Oh, dude. Artist, of course. His songs will just get stuck in my head every now and then. I'm like, humming them, and I'm like, that's James, baby. All of us. That's what I love about just recently, like I said, everyone we've been talking to and working with is just like a beautiful artist. I can tell. I can just tell they care about their art. They care about the presentation,
Yeah.
and I love that. It's great. It's
Yeah,
actually cool.
I do too. It was very inspiring. Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
man, I'm glad that you got to get a preview of Haunted Maze because your feedback was really cool. Obviously, when you gave me that, I was like, coming into hell on a surfboard.
oh, is that
Was
what I said? Yeah.
I'm
I
like such
forgot.
a
Yeah.
cool compliment. I'm
That's
like,
right.
damn, that's
Surfing
a
into hell on a surfboard.
woo. I was like, yep. So,
Yeah, yeah,
because it
yeah,
does also kind of have like a surfy rock vibe as well, right?
yeah.
Like the fact that you made that comment, I'm like, oh, interesting.
I think it
But
was.
yeah,
It may have been the guitar solo. That kind of. That might be a little bit of a surf. Those surf guitars. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Very, I was like, I don't want something. I mean, I wanted something a little bit with some speed, but I want something memorable first.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
that you're gonna remember. And definitely got that. I'm happy with it, man.
yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
quickest song from mine to master. And
Yeah.
I'm like super excited about that because I'm like, huh, maybe I can do this again, and try that. Like it's always for me and for anyone who's listening that's like a songwriter, it is just like eventually you just want to get to the point where you can get from mind to matter, and
Mm,
bring it down and be able to present your thought. And I feel like the more and more you practice it, the more and more you eventually,
yeah.
at least like your muscle is well versed and you could always pull something down. I feel like for me, not every idea has to be good. I'll sit behind and just kind of like, okay, I'm feeling something. So let me just sit behind the session and create. Sometimes they'll just take space and sit there. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I just came. It's been 2 hours and I've been in here for, 2 hours working and now I have a new song that I'm like just listening to over and over again. So I feel
Is
like you
that?
never know what you're gonna write. And I think your best song is your next song. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm always hoping that too. But do you have this thing with James? Because I had when I just started working with him, and
Mhm.
he really loved these first. I think we did like these first 5 songs, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, then when gonna send him more songs, I'm like, is this good enough? Is this good enough to send to James? I mean, is he gonna think this is cool?
Is
I'm
that
so,
something you
I'm starting to psych myself out. Yeah, I'm starting to psych myself out. Like I'm
Oh
like,
no, not at all. I feel like if it's good to your ear, it
yeah,
has the elements. That's what I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Like so I think the same thing because we want to present something that's, not only we like it, but obviously it sounds cool and
yeah,
our
yeah,
peers like it. At least our peers,
yeah, exactly. I
who
mean,
are
that's what I'm getting into a little bit. It's like it's not a competitive thing, but I want to
not at
impress. I
all.
want to impress you guys. You know what I
It's
mean?
and then
I
and then it's
want you
funny
guys
because
to
then the
listen to it and be
audience.
like, yeah, fuck yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. It's like banger.
yeah,
But immediately, yeah, like I obviously same thing with me. Like I want to make, and sometimes it helps that sometimes when I'm writing or working on something, like someone will walk by in the room and they'll like you said, the head bob of approval, like and I'm like, okay, I'm on to something good here. I'm
yeah,
cooking something
yeah,
good. So I feel, but also to you, I think that's more important because what I've learned is everything sounds good if you really just put your heart into it. If you really
yeah,
just follow through with an idea, you can really make anything super polished and sound beautiful.
yeah,
But also, sometimes something with the most minimal elements will be very impactful. I have this track. Let me just tell you, I have this song
yeah,
that I recorded, and let's just say I was. Well, I'll be honest. I was on an acid.
yeah.
So I was just feeling very just like like when the walls are just breathing, but everything's kind of
Yes,
mellow.
yes, I know that.
And I
Yeah.
was already kind of in that time where I was kind of coming down. I was like, okay, cool. I feel good. I got into a session and I started just playing with synthesizers. And I've never released this song. I probably should now that I'm talking about it. I should probably
Yeah, for
drop a
sure.
little preview of it on. But um it's like a very ebb and flow, and it's 2 tracks. It's just 2 tracks. I no percussion, but there's something about that song that's very orchestral, and it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
need anything else but those 2 synths that I put in there. And
Wow.
bro, every time I listen to that song, I almost cry because of the
Wow, I'd
emotion.
love to hear it. Yeah.
I tapped into this like crazy emotion that like I think you actually would love it because it's very like your music, like
Oh, yeah.
very open, very spacious, you know.
Mm,
And I've been craving that, you know. I haven't done that lately, but that's how I am, man. Like my last song, like our the song that just came out that you guys
mm.
should go listen to, Haunted Maze. Um, that was gonna be a rock, like I said, rock and roll song. Sometimes I'm very more like I want this song to be more electronic, or I want this song to have more of a rock element to it, or
Mm.
you know, more acoustic element. But yeah, I guess I'm just more of a moody writer. But with Kid Barrett, I like to kind of pinpoint the
Yeah.
things that worked for Kid Barrett, you know, and what Kid Barrett is. So
That's the way I am too. It's like if I pick up a guitar, I
Mhm.
guarantee I'm gonna write a sad song.
Mm.
Just like it's just like
Interesting.
it just
Could it
comes
be
out, and or I mean even at anything, you know, whenever I sit down at anything, it's always like some kind of melancholy. Oh my God,
interesting?
this wig itches so bad.
Oh
Um,
man, take it
this
off.
no way, it's too gorgeous, man.
It looks
Um,
awesome, man. It looks so cool.
um, but yeah, it's always like a melancholy
That's
thing. So
interesting. Yeah, that's really
I'm always
interesting.
challenged to write something upbeat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
so
usually
cool.
kind of slow and moody is what comes out of me. So
But
I'm
that's
always
not bad at all because
yeah
sometimes I like the contrast. Like, say you have a moody, melancholy song, and then the lyrics are like super upbeat. You know, I love the
yeah yeah yeah
contrast sometimes. That's
yeah yeah
always
yeah yeah. Contrast is the thing. Yeah yeah.
yeah. What I
Um
used to do was write happy songs and then like write sad lyrics on them for some reason.
yeah yeah
So it's
yeah
like, does it?
yeah
It feels weird. Like this feels weird. Like I'm happy, but the song is depressing as hell.
yeah
Oh,
yeah yeah.
interesting. Makes you think
And
a little bit.
you have a big gig on Friday
Yes.
the 13th too, right?
I would like to promote. It's on the
Yeah.
21st, October
Oh, it's
21st
on July 1st.
in
Okay.
Los Angeles. We're gonna have the lineup is Fever, Vessel, Oh Hi Michelle, Sad Boy Skeleton. We're gonna have DJ Lucy, D Vile. And yeah, dude, there's a lot of like there's gonna be vendors and stuff.
And it's gonna be
So
a big Halloween
a
party,
shout
right?
out to the Slum God, Gloomy, and Necro Kitty Cat's gonna be there doing tarot. So it's gonna be a
Oh,
fun,
nice.
really fun event, man. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's an underground spot, so you guys should contact me if you're now in the Los Angeles area, and it's gonna be a fun time, man. We were there in January, and we will be there again
But
next week.
and this is a big Halloween party, right?
It's gonna be a big
Totally,
Halloween
yeah.
party. Yeah. So I will be all
And
dressed
are
up.
you gonna play this song for the first time there?
Yeah, actually, I
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will be.
So
Definitely.
that's the
That's gonna
big
be fun.
debut, yeah.
Yeah, at the
And
Halloween
then
show.
are you pulling out the guitar for the guitar solo?
Yes.
Or-
No,
yeah.
so that's the thing. Like for Purgatory, so that was my plan. Like with Kid Barrett, like I didn't
Yeah.
want to lose. I don't want to lose the guitar.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be there in the back, and or it's gonna be there in some songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Thankfully in Purgatory, the first song. So here's what with James. It's kind of funny because we were going over that the other day,
Yeah.
and the first time we met, he was trying to remix one of my songs, but I couldn't access the stems for some reason, and
Ah.
but I was working on Purgatory, and that's why I was like, but I am working on this. Do you want to hear this that I'm working on? I'm like, because I know you mix and stuff. And then he's like, as soon as he heard it, so that was the first song we worked on.
Ah, cool.
So I was still very like guitar based and stuff, but I did bring in more of the synth. Like the
Mm,
synth is basically playing exactly what the guitar melody is playing, so it makes it a little sweeter, gives it a little more depth.
mm,
Obviously I could have done that with the guitar, but I do like being able to play it as well or whatever.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
uh so with the guitar, I like to keep the guitar on stage with me. For We got Purgatory. I have this other song that's unreleased, but I've been playing it live and I really like playing it live, but it also has some guitar elements, little little licks at the end and stuff.
Mm.
Just kind of, I don't know, I think the guitar should stick around. That's my
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, totally, totally, man.
You know what I
Yeah, well,
mean?
it's great to shake a set up and bring
Exactly. And then I
different
take the
instruments
guitar
together.
off, and then for Sex Club and like Life Stands, it's just like the
Yeah.
microphone. Because I also love that too. I've been in bands where I play and sing, and I've been in bands where I was the only guy up there.
Yeah.
But I think I've been in bands where I was the only guy up there singing longer, So I studied a lot of like, performers that were just up there with the mic alone. Because I'm like, and that's kind of where my stage presence comes from, man. A lot of the
You know
just
who
live act.
you know who I think is it's kind of a strange pick in a of all the great frontmen there are, but I still maintain that Michael Hutchence of INXS is
Oh, wow.
one of the greatest frontmans of all time.
That's your
He,
pick? That's your
yeah,
pick?
yeah. It's a very
Right
strange,
on,
it's kind
man.
of a strange pick, but
No, not at all.
yeah,
I totally understand.
yeah. I mean, have you seen him live? Seen him?
Yeah, bro.
I
I
mean, the
mean,
way he moves,
legends,
or like
man.
even like on Saturday Night Live, you can like
Mhm.
go and watch them just on Saturday Night Live, and he
Yeah.
was like, he's just like
I
in the zone, man. He's just like he's just the way he moves. He's like there's no wrong move, He's just like
It's
in
so
it.
funny.
And on
And I feel
top of that, he's doing this great vocal, he's
like,
doing this amazing vocal. So yeah,
you
so
know
I
what's
got a lot
funny?
of respect for Michael Hutchinson.
Interesting, man. Like for me, it would be a lot of the classic people because they really didn't have anyone else really to teach them much. So I
Yeah.
feel like that shit was genuine. Like they were just like really feeling it. And so for me, a lot of the classic people like, Mick, Jim,
Yeah.
uh, even up to I'll even throw him in there. Axl Rose, man. Just
Oh yeah.
back in his prime, in his prime.
Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know. But stuff like that, I've always just been like, these are the dudes that kind of just like do it for me, and doing their chicken dances and shit. If you can dance like some sort of animal on stage, that does it for me. But now it seems I'm like, But yeah, dude, like Jim Morrison for me, just being able to command a stage,
Oh
it's
yeah.
really
Yeah. That's for
important to
sure.
me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The
He
way
owns
he would
the
stare
stage.
at the crowd and like stare them down, I'm like, fuck, dude, like you have no nerves at that point, you're basically. And I also like I got good advice once when I was growing up and learning that was like,
Yeah.
if you have something to show, you have a gift to show, like you better be out there. Like it's almost like you shouldn't close that. You shouldn't like cover it up. You should just
Mm,
show it as much as you
yeah.
can, because that only weakens you when you're kind of like half-assing it or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's great, man. Like I feel like stage presence should translate to like studio presence because that's the fun part of it. We
Mm,
can't lose that live aspect. I think.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing that AI will never have on us, and it's being able to perform like a live person, or at least not yet, for a little
Yeah.
while longer.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I think you're always going to. I don't think AI is going to.
No, I'm not
I
scared of
mean,
it.
it's going to be an addition to things for sure, but
Like right
it's just
now,
yeah. But you can always
exactly what we're
tell if
doing
there's
right
like
now.
the soul is
Yeah,
in it. Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
using it, to communicate about music, and
Yeah.
I use my computer every day to produce. So
Yeah.
it's part of us now.
But what was I going to say? I was going to mention when you were talking about what were we just talking about before that? Oh, the piece of advice. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I got a great piece of advice too.
sweet.
My brother-in-law that I studied guitar with, he was like a
Mhm.
jazz master, a guitar player. So he taught me all these movable jazz chords up and down the neck,
Okay,
all
those are
these different
crazy.
voicings, and I wrote all my songs back then were
Mhm.
based on that. But he always told me when you walk onto that stage, that's your stage.
Mhm.
He always said, own it. That's completely yours. Own the stage as soon as you walk out there. So I always kept that in mind, and that was great advice.
Your fits, man, from the pictures I've seen, like your outfits are like you were doing that when I was a baby, and
Yeah, thanks,
it's like,
man.
sir, it's like, sir, good sir. No, I
You
look
know
at
what?
those pictures
I
and I'm
I
like,
should
holy
say that
smokes.
was a I should mention the guy that designed those outfits was a
Oh, that'd be
Swedish
cool. I mean, I look
designer,
at
and
amazing stuff.
I don't know where he is today, but his name was Lars Anderson, and he was illegally at the time in New York, and
Mhm.
just like surviving making costumes for people and stuff like that. But he was
That's
this
that's
amazing
crazy.
designer. So he made the entire band these black pleather, jumpsuits, a different
Wow.
design for each person. It was crazy. Yeah.
Dude, it looked insane, man. I mean, a lot of them do. And same thing, man. Like I met a person in LA, and I'll mention her too. Her name is Jackie Mack.
Mm,
The pieces, and I still use a lot of those pieces today because of that collab that I had with her,
yeah.
or with them. I'm sorry. But I feel like, um, yeah, dude, like the outfits have a big part. The outfits have a big part in what we're
Yeah.
doing. Part of the commanding of the stage, like you said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being able to walk on stage, and first thing is the outfit is what they pick up, then the first words that come out of your mouth,
Right, 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 right.
and then the first notes that come out of your, instruments, which is also a big thing about the stage, is like kind of have to be ready to walk in there as a commander, like you said,
Yeah.
you're ready to command.
I mean,
So I'm excited.
I've always, I mean, I'm drawn to, I mean, it's you probably, yeah, why I was drawn to James and you, and,
Yeah, yeah,
it's the visual thing too, because those were always my favorite, rock stars, that's the
yeah,
thing,
me
is that
too, man.
if they have some style going on or some outrageous, a fashion thing. So I've always, loved that part of it. In fact, I think my band that had the record deal in the 90s, we were really in the middle of like grunge at that time,
Right.
and we even had this A&R guy from Carolyn Records who I couldn't stand, but he was trying to get us to just wear white t-shirts and jeans. He's like, you guys just wear white t-shirts and jeans or like shorts. You're
I
gonna be
got it. The plain white tees.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You then I think you guys could like really make it. And I was just like, fuck you, man. I can't, I can't.
That's
Who
so
the
annoying.
fuck are you?
Yeah, what?
It's like
White
that's how
tee.
this is what I do, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. Especially
But
so it almost
he may have been
feels
right.
like
He
an
may have been
insult.
right. I don't know. But yeah, yeah.
Feels
Yeah,
like
of
an
course.
insult at that
Of
point.
course. Well, I mean, who are these guys? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. I think at that point they were just trying to like soften everything up. Do you
Yeah.
remember like in Airheads, it's like they're turning the rock station into like a soft rock station. It's like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. Screw that. I think that's a big part of my whole thing is like I kind of want to wear whatever I want and do whatever I want.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's part of the rock and roll way, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
dude.
I totally wish I could be there though for the show, though, man.
Ah, dude.
Is someone gonna take some footage of it or something?
Well, definitely. I'll definitely have footage from my live performances. I wish I had like a videographer for like the whole event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Um,
send me a clip, even if you don't post anything.
yeah, no, of
I'd
course.
like
I
to just
usually,
get the vibe, soak
yeah,
up the
dude.
vibe.
I'll even send you one from that spot last year. It's just a great vibe, man. Like,
Yeah.
um, so I like to get footage, and then same thing with James. Great guy because he gets my live footage. I give him, we take the audio off of the live footage. He mixes that, does a little magic on that, gives it back to me, and now it's like it sounds like we're in the room, and like there's like
Really? Wow.
little extra reverb in there, and it just sounds
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
Like it
yeah.
really allows you to hear what was going on in the room.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did. That's my goal, to try to get a video for Live Stance and try to get a video for Haunted Maze. So
Oh,
if
cool. Yeah.
you're watching this, that's probably on its way.
Nice.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
All right, man. Well, congratulations with the release. I'm super excited to I'm super excited. Yeah. And we will rock in power.
Hey, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Love you, dude.
Honestly, love you too, man. Have a great day. Night. All right.
You too.